Good day, everyone, and welcome to everyone, and to those of you who are listening to this on the recording in the future. Welcome as well. I wanted to express my gratitude to Peg and my root teacher Flynn for creating this and developing and maintaining this beautiful sangha, and to all of our entrusted teachers, Lori, Kim, Todd, and Joel, for all that they offer us all the time and their support. And to all of you, the whole Sangha, for your practice. So, and Marla, thank you for monitoring today, and Joan for timekeeper, and Kim for Doshi. These are all roles that keep us practicing in the way that we need to. So today I'm going to share some reflections on mistakes and repair. I would think that this rings a bell for some of us. Okay. Well, no, we don't make, yes. So mistakes and repair. So, to set this up, I'm going to talk about the car accident that I had recently that some of you know about, and some of the tools from practice that helped me to process it. And in particular, a shifting exercise as taught by Locke Kelly in his book, Shift into Freedom. And then we're going to do the exercise together, the particular one that helped me, and it's going to be led by Locke Kelly in his own voice on audio. And then we'll, Kim and Joan, you can be a pair there, and we'll break into pairs in breakout rooms online. To share our experience of doing that exercise. And then hopefully we'll have a few minutes at the end to come back together and share. So this accident, many of you know that it was really the biggest wake-up call of my life, this recent accident, which, though technically I wasn't at fault, it was the result of two main factors. The other driver not gauging her distance from my car. She was coming across an intersection, and my inattention. So instead of being fully in the present moment, which we aspire to do, alert to where my car, and the other cars around me were, my attention was focused on where I was going and what I would be doing there. And actually it connects with today, because I was going to give a talk at the senior center where I sit each week with some folks who read Zen readings together. So that was where my attention was. And I didn't slow down because of that. And the impact was powerful. So you know the term T-bone? I always thought, well, it's a steak, right? Well, I learned, and many people knew this already, that that's what occurred with our cars. Was this. So I was shocked by the impact, certainly grateful beyond belief for my life and the life of the other person. I didn't get a scratch, which was just remarkable. And she apparently felt a little discomfort in her back. I am hopeful that that did not turn into anything. And of course, I felt a very deep sense of remorse. So I sat in Zazen the following days, breath after breath, returning to the present moment. The repentance and refuge chants certainly took on a completely new meaning after this event. So what was at the root of my inattention? I realize now that this was just really one moment when my inattention and life moving around me collided in a harmful way. I realize that, like many of us, my mind is often far from the present moment. And, but why? What is it that makes these distractions, whether it's looking at our phones, thinking about the past, worrying about the future, what is it that makes those subjects so much more appealing than being where we are, in these bodies, in these places, at these moments, in these particular circumstances? And for me on that day, it was on the road, which with many, many other factors happening. Or why does the prospect of being alert in the present moment pale by comparison? If we each reflected on this question, we might come up with different answers. But here's a thought. As humans, I don't think we anticipate enjoying the present moment, and therefore often welcome distraction. We may also project our core beliefs onto the present moment. In my circumstance there, approaching my talk, I'm not enough, so this piddly little present moment will not have enough for me to sustain me. These thoughts have all been in retrospect, but at the time, after the accident, I was so shaken up, and at the same time, quite clear about my part. And this took a lot of thought because I didn't really understand what happened. It was so fast. And by the place that my car hit her car, it took a while to really piece it together. But I did, and I was really seeking a way to come to terms with it, to access my capacity to zoom out and reflect and stay away from the extremes of blaming or just finding a way to feel better without reflecting. So how could I be with what happened, learn the hard lessons of my inattentiveness, acknowledge deep remorse, and commit to, as much as possible, to a new way of being in the world, and as my brother said, as much as humanly possible. And at the same time, have such gratitude for my life and the life of the other driver. So here's an exercise in Locke Kelly's Shift. It's called Shift into Freedom, the Science and Practice of Open-Hearted Awareness. It became so helpful. So a little bit about Locke Kelly. So he's a psychotherapist and a long-term student of meditation who studied in Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, and with many of the greatest meditation masters of our time. So he's also affiliated with Adyashanti. He has collaborated with neuroscientists to study how awareness training can enhance compassion and well-being. So before we actually do the exercise, I wanted to practice together some basic shifting of awareness. So I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna just watch me. I'm gonna close my eyes because it helps me to close my eyes and use my body as I do this basic shifting. So I'm keeping my hands here, and the idea is that our awareness is most often in our thinking mind. That's here. So I'm just taking a few breaths and acknowledging, up here in my thinking mind is where I am. And I'm going to shift down my awareness. Shifting down, continuing to breathe into my heart space. So that's the beginning of the exercise. And I'm going to share my screen to show you an illustration that Locke Kelly has in the book that shares the arc of the exercise, which is much more that what I described was the beginning, and you're going to see through the illustration kind of where it's going to be going. As you can see, local awareness is unhooking from thinking. So this is where we usually are. We're trying to unhook it from our thinking and move down into our hearts. And then what's happening is the heart is opening and moving forward. It's going to the left in the drawing, but you'll hear in the exercise how the awareness is moving forward in front of us. So think about it in the illustration, it's going left, but it's really moving forward. You'll get it once the Locke Kelly begins speaking. So it's moving, our awareness is moving out in front of us with compassionate connection to others and also to ourselves and our parts. Then it turns around and moves back into the heart and behind us, actually behind us, for the infinite support of what he calls awake awareness. And then it comes back through our hearts. So our hearts have kind of a conduit in this exercise. And with all these supplies of love and awareness from behind us moving through our hearts again to the front. So it's kind of, I'm not sure that this helped, but I wanted to show it to you. And I think that I have a way of, actually it's on my Kindle, so the photographs are not great, but I can take a picture and send it to you guys at another time. So this exercise is called open-hearted connection, or awake awareness has your back. So, well, what does he mean by awake awareness? Quote, when our basic awareness is revealed to be the foundation of both how we know and who we are, we can call it awake awareness. It's who we are prior to the personal conditioning we usually turn to for our identity. Rather than looking to our thoughts, memories, personality, or roles to identify ourselves, we learn to know awake awareness as the primary dimension of who we are, the ground of being. So just hang tight for a little bit. So we're going to move right into this exercise. And if you choose, you can think of a time when you made a mistake, something that you might have done more skillfully had you had more thought, did something, said something, wrote something that you understood in retrospect was not helpful at best and maybe harmful. And include that in your open-heartedness as your awareness comes down to your heart and you're reaching forward to others who are suffering as well as this. When we make these mistakes, I do think we suffer, and other times, sometimes others do too. Nothing too extreme. Pick something that's rather mild, just to give us a sense of how to work with these situations. So Kelly will be guiding us to breathe in the suffering of others as well as our own. And this is what I found so healing in the aftermath of the accident. So I'm going to share my screen again and turn it over to Lock Kelly. So I would suggest that you close your eyes and just allow his voice to carry you through this exercise that has a lot of movement in it. Let's just take a moment to settle in. So if everybody could just close their eyes and just take a few easy breaths.
This glimpse is called open-hearted connection. It's one in which you can really begin to feel open-hearted awareness directly. There are some spiritual practices that many of you may have tried where you breathe in positive energy and love, and then you breathe out negative energy and suffering. An interesting thing is the Tibetan Buddhist Tonglen practice is exactly the opposite. It's called a practice of giving and receiving, where you are instructed to breathe into your heart the suffering of others with the wish to take away their ignorance and pain. Then you breathe out of your heart, sending good feelings, compassion, and happiness to particular people or groups. The Tonglen practice is considered a relative practice, This next practice, open-hearted connection, is what I would consider an ultimate level Tonglen practice, because it's a giving and receiving that adds one important dimension. It's the same as the Tonglen practice, except when you breathe into your body, you don't stop at taking the suffering into your heart. Instead, you will learn to allow it to continue through your heart space to the support of awake awareness behind your heart. Then you'll feel the support of awake awareness coming back into your body. Next, you will feel the loving awareness fill your body and then go out in front of you to connect to the awake awareness within other people in front of you. As you breathe back in, you feel other people's ignorance and suffering coming back through your own ignorance and suffering in your own body, but then back, behind your back, to the support of awake awareness. The key experience of this practice could be summarized this way: awake awareness has your back. So let's begin this practice now. You can sit comfortably. Allow yourself to find a way to settle in. Take a little deeper breath and allow a smile to come to your face. You can have your eyes open or closed, and simply be aware of all your senses. Now notice the activity of thinking in your head. As you do, notice that you can unhook local awareness from thoughts in your head and have it step back. Now that the intelligence is located in local awareness, let it move down and know your neck from within. Move down into your upper body and into the center of your chest, knowing the aliveness and the awareness directly from within. Feel this kind of direct knowing that neither looks down from your head nor looks back up to thoughts. Feel the awareness that can know both awareness and aliveness from within. Notice a feeling of an open heart space within the center of your chest. Feel as if you've relocated from your head to this open heart space from which you are now knowing and aware. You can invite and welcome any thoughts here so that you can remain at home in your heart mind. Remain here and feel as if you can breathe in through this heart space and the breath goes through you and behind you. Let local awareness now move back behind you, unhooking from your body and moving directly behind your heart so that awareness becomes aware of the space behind your body. None of your senses are aware, so only awareness can know itself. Let local awareness surrender back until it discovers the awake awareness that's already looking forward. Your only intention is surrendering local awareness back. Once it discovers the awareness that's already awake, let yourself remain there in this contentless, thought-free, sensation-free, knowing clarity. Feel the support of awareness. Feel it as the ground that supports you. And as you surrender awake awareness back to the awake awareness that knows itself, notice the awareness is already within you, filling you from head to toe, embracing every sensation and thought, and then going out through the door of your heart to see or be with anyone, everyone, or a particular person in front of you that you're sending or connecting to, that you're already connected to through awake awareness. Let that awareness go out and connect to this person and feel and see and know the awake awareness within them. Even as you go through their heart to awareness behind their back, see the support that they have as well. And then as you come forward, feel their pain, their confusion, their suffering, loss, grief, anxiety, depression, worry, or any form that this particular person is suffering from. And feel the love coming from your heart and from the love of the field of awake awareness behind their back. As awareness now moves with this energy of ignorance and suffering back, drawing it back to your heart space. So you can feel this and have empathy and compassion, and then feel that the suffering that touches you can then also move back through your heart, surrendered back to the support of awake awareness behind you that's bigger and wiser and more pervasive than all of us. That's who we are. And feel that wisdom and love from behind. And as you then feel the support that awareness has your back, again, feel the loving awareness come through your heart, moving out to connect to this other person, to their whole being, to their emotional, mental, physical, particular situation of their life with love and attention and non-judgmental awareness that embraces them, goes to their heart, connects you, protects them as it goes through to awake awareness behind their back. Feel that connection, the support, the unified field, as awareness behind their back comes through, feeling all their pain or suffering, confusion or ignorance that is just tied in knots, little looping confusion, worry, made mostly of ignorance and confusion, of misunderstanding that awareness is here with us always. And as that pain comes through, let yourself be touched again. Feel it in your body, the empathy, the connectedness, the compassion of your own ignorance and suffering. Feel your own continuous sense of emotional life, physical life, of any worry, confusion, depression, and let that now be surrendered back through your heart space to the awareness behind your back. And continue this flow to ride the awareness, to surf the silence, to feel you can go to another person or to many people and come back and forth. And I'll leave you with this quote by Nisargadatta. When I look back and find nothing, that is wisdom. And when I look out and see everyone and everything, that is love. And between the two, life moves.
Let's just take a minute. Okay, so we will get into pairs now, and the instructions are very, very simple. It's 10 minutes. Each person will have 2 minutes to express and share their experience. The partner will have 2 minutes to respond, and then they'll reverse. So that makes 4, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Oh, sorry, that makes 8. And then there'll be 2 minutes for the pair to share any other responses or things that came up, thoughts, feelings that came up for them. Thank you, everyone. It looks to me like and they're gonna unmute. Looks to me like we have a few minutes left if anyone would like to share their experience of the exercise and with the sharing. Joe?
Thank you. Thanks for this, Rosemarie. To me, the most important part was the deliberate embodied invocation of a sense of support from behind me. I've done Tonglen a lot over the years in a particular version that I learned from a Tara Brach book that I picked up in Marfa, Texas. And it begins with just feeling whatever the pain is first, and letting that be what it has to be, and then without turning away from it, allowing it to be breathed through in a kind of light, cool way. And then connecting that with other people who have had the same experience, other people who may have the same pain, other people who universally as humans feel pain. And I've never had this, although I've read this book, I didn't remember this particular meditation, and that thing of feeling, expanding your awareness into a space. I've certainly done that, but never in the sense of it supporting me in connecting with my own pain and connecting that other pain in compassion. That's a very good thing, and I appreciate you bringing this to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. That was the new part for me as well, and it's kind of like feels, that the earth is holding us, and this idea that something is supporting us, and if our hearts are open, supplying us with more awareness. It's just such a nourishing, maybe that's the word, a nourishing idea.
Nourishing.
So Thank you, Joel.
And I will say that the person I was meeting with had trouble connecting with this more, more so than I, because that person was in considerable pain, and it was very fresh and very hard to connect beyond that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and we got to hold each other in the space between our Zoom
Thank you.
windows.
Thank you. Thank you for that too. Well, I'd like to say that it doesn't surprise me that it might be a little hard to relate to for some. When it helped me, because I was the experience of having done something that, you know, had I done other things would not have been so harmful. Um, my own, my own, my own parts and my own compassion for myself were in there with compassion for others, and so that was, I really needed that support, and that's what helped me a lot. So, um, and Locke Kelly's emphasis was not, he did say it at one point, your own, the pain and ignorance of others and your own, but it was not the emphasis. So I think that might have been difficult for some. But thank you for coming along for the exercise, and yeah, and for being here.
Rosemarie,
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I believe that Ramona raised her hand and I wasn't able to see it because we're,
Oh, okay.
would you like to speak, Ramona?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that that I had a hard time with it. I'm one of those people, I felt a lot of resistance, and I think I picked someone who I'm, maybe in the middle of something with, and I felt not ready to I think I think what you were saying, Rosemary, fits me. I needed to give myself more compassion first. And so trying to give this other person compassion who I feel is kind of giving me a hard time, a bit unfairly. I wasn't ready to go there. So I'll just say that.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's such a important point that, we have to be ready,
Yeah,
if it involves, offering compassion to others.
yeah.
And often, that's something we talk to a teacher about too.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
know,
it's good to have that awareness.
yeah,
Even with this
absolutely.
person, it's good to say, oh, I'm really, kind of stuck with my anger for a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
Thank you.
Thank you.